Hey guys, that was a very bad intro. My voice just cracked. Anyways, we have roughly 1 hour here until the futures market is opening, and I will do a quick recap here of what I've seen during the weekend and what posts that I've made to the community here on X. But before we do that, I will again. Trump is taking office here in like 24 hours or so, and actually less, but anyway. So I think we will do quickly some charting here. Not charting, but just again, I think the USDWTI, that is oil, and the Dixie will be the ones to watch here. Again, I think the markets will be very erratic, and I think these are the two ones to look for. As always, guys, you know exactly where you can find me if you want to know more and get more updates on a daily basis. It could be uranium, could be gold, silver, platinum, commodities, crypto. I try to cover as much as I can in the style that I do things. So here we have the 2 hourly here on the Dixie. And again, I want to look for if the dollar can start to break that internal high there at roughly 109.4, or if we are going to break down actually. If we break down, I think we could see a short-term top here. But again, it's anyone's guess as we are heading into this whole thing here. And then obviously we have oil here. Last week we broke out of that 3-year wedge pattern. Amazing, right? Breaking out and testing the big 30, excuse me, 77 here as we speak. Again, could we be testing a lot more and all that? Yes. We have made a higher high, so we could also come all the way back in. That wouldn't be ideal by any means. But again, oil and the Dixie here is the ones to look for, in my opinion, especially, the first few days after he stepped into office. Again, he can't manage to do anything, do any changes at that point in time, but the markets will interpret, everything, to the tiniest bit. So cool. The Twitter recap here. Again, here, I just posted, the levels and trend lines to watch for this week. That is for silver, that is for gold, oil, platinum, palladium. Again, just, what do I think is important where we look at the 2 hourly time frames, not the long term, just the 2 hourly. And here we have a Danish bank, a rather large bank in Denmark, not massive, on a worldwide scale. It's just a teeny weeny bank, but in Denmark, many people use it, and this is just to me like a very, very good entry there. You have the whole bull flag kind of thing going on into the lower trend line. You're popping there. I mean, what's not to like here, really, for the bank? Um, this is a video. You can find that on YouTube here or on the Substack. A brief one here where I'm just looking into what oil did when Trump took office in 2016, where oil actually went on a 2-year rally. Yes, coming off up from some very oversold levels, but still, could we be in for similar? We shall definitely wait and see for that one. And this, by the way, is the picture or the main takeaway. So last time Trump took office was in 2016. Oil started a 2-year rally up roughly 200%. Again, we were in a wedge pattern here, by the way. So this was just like a return to mean kind of play. And you have a trend line from the lows here, then you broke down there, and then you had the COVID. But again, look at where oil is now on the monthly, as we are so close to Trump taking place, potentially a mega breakout. We have broken out, but again, I need the confirmation, the whole retest process. But again, potentially a mega surge is in for oil here. This is GDX trader here. Silver, again, he always writes a lot of good stuff there. But again, the main takeaway here is that we have the small internal uptrend here, which we broke down from. And then we have this wedge pattern here into the big 30 support zone here. Between like 38 and 30 is, excuse me, 28 and 30 is uh, demand here until we break down, obviously. But this wedge pattern here, it could very well be breaking here. But as I've been saying in the video for the members, again, we did see teeny weeny false breakout here, or just a little bit of stop before potentially breaking out. On the 2 hourly, you can actually see that quite well. And this is, accounts that I would like to give a shout out to. We have Jay Fong here. Again, he's really good with level and Fibonacci's. Burak, obviously, a really cool guy. I've learned a lot from with regard to channels, trend lines. That is just what he's really, really good at. And then you have David here with a different way of looking at cycles, where he is basically using FFT analysis on the chart, and then you can see which frequencies are having the highest amplitude, and therefore also having most to say in this whole thing here. Sahara is again squeeze play with the Fibonacci targets, really cool way to do things. And then we have Blake here again, really good day trader and swing trader, and very simple stuff, but it is very effective. I admire that a lot. It's really cool to see. Kamiko here. Kamiko, this is the CCJ, not the CCO, by the way. Kamiko appears to be retesting its 2024 bull flag, the yellow one right here. You can see we're attacking it for the second time. Additionally, the stock price is now peaking back above the neckline of a 3-month-old inverse head and shoulders. So this is the topping pattern. Very weird right shoulder, I will have to say. But still, we're peaking above. Good signs here for Kamiko. Are we out of the woods just yet here for the blue chip in uranium? No. But I will say, if we can take the trend line that is not on here, and that is a good start, to say the least. And that will potentially happen this week, potentially, especially if oil is running like a madman. So Devon here, this is a stock that we have been following for quite some time on the Substack and YouTube. And we have this whole wedge pattern here, really excited, and then we had the breakdown. And been saying that we are very often going to see a retest of that whole thing, because you have a falling wedge, which is bullish. Breaking down is obviously bad, but you often retest, and then you can roll over, and then things get really nasty. But it seems to me here that we have actually had a false breakdown here from that blue trend, and we're now back above the long-term green support and the wedge pattern. So again, this has the recipe for a false breakdown. We do have some internal levels here that we are fighting with, but still, I wouldn't be surprised to see a breakout here, testing, rally to the golden here, teeny weeny pullback, and then we go for Devon. Oil and gas stocks here on the Substack, you can find that. That is a post. So you can see the charts that I'm looking at here. And again, if we have the rally that seems to be on our on the footsteps here for oil, these stocks will do really well, and they pay a hefty dividend, some of them, 5, 10, 15%. So energy will be back in full-on bullish mode if that is the case. Also here I did a video on the stocks or on the charts, just to give a little bit of a commentary to that whole thing. The Dixie here, looking at it from an extremely long-term perspective, this whole mega macro falling wedge here, we broke out, did 1,000 retests, and then we have created this red uptrend. So if you look at it from a long-term perspective, the Dixie is really strong. Could it be that we are short-term in for a pullback and all that? Sure. But the big breakdowns comes when we break down from that lower red trend line there, the parallel. And that is definitely not going to happen tomorrow. We need a few years until that is the case for the Dixie. So here we have silver divided by the Dixie on the weekly. So silver broke its 2011 downtrend, TL, back in September of 2024. Right there. Therefore, silver at that point in time was going to outperform the Dixie / the dollar. That is a really good thing to start with, right? For silver to actually, outperform that. I mean, it has been really choppy, but again, the Dixie has been insanely strong, especially after Trump took office, and silver is still holding on quite nicely versus that, the Dixie index. And to me, this ratio shows to me that the big one for silver to take out is 0.33. the horizontal bull and bear market trend line. And this is 2011. We peaked heavily, tagged, breakdown, boom. And then you have been in a bear market ever since. So it would make sense that in order to really get some footing here, we need to break that to the upside again before we rally higher for silver. Here we have the M2 money stock here divided by gold. We're tagging it here for the third time. Typically, again, you see a bounce and then you break on the fourth. We have come quite far, I will have to say, that I wouldn't be surprised to see a break, a bounce here over the next, few weeks, a month, excuse me, in this whole ratio thing here. But when and if that gives in, that's just more fuel to the fire for gold, which is looking fantastic. So crypto miners, 5 crypto miners that I've made a post about on the Substack. Again, you can go and check that if you are a subscriber. I think there are some really well-defined levels / trend lines. If we break that, I think they could be in for quite a move. Also to the downside, again, there are some clear trend lines that you don't want to lose. Last one here I'll go through is the US 10-year divided by the US 2-year. And I just wanted to show that the inversion, the area here, if you were to do like an integral here on that below that zero line, this is way larger than the global financial crisis, dot-com bubble, and the 1970s. So if this still holds true, this whole inversion on inversion, indicator, we are in for a bang of a period here, and that is not a bang with a a good view. This could potentially be absolutely devastating. But again, the bond market broke down in 2020 and confirmed in 2022. So will it have the same meaning? I think so. But again, there is that little, outlier that it might not mean the exact same as we are thinking. It could just be heavy stagflation. That is also insanely bad, by the way. Not for gold. That is where gold is driving. So cool, guys. That is all that I have for you today here. The markets will open, at least the futures, in like 1 hour. Have an amazing week, and I appreciate, every one of you liking and subscribing and all that good stuff. It really warms my heart. So have an amazing day, guys. As always, cheers. Bye.